wave, Murray. Her she wanna ride a wave, Murray. Remy in the handy in the loud is the reason why my vision so blurry. She wanna get a nigga versatile with the style, baby, there ain't no worry. They mad cause I'm living in and out when they girls like I'm not talking. She fond of me, yeah. You can say the way that she fond of me.
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another episode of the Hard Pause Podcast. It's Julian Black here with Quarter Water TV with episode 70. As usual, we like to thank all the folks who come through and support the podcast regularly. Shout out to all y'all folks. If you have any interest in listening to the music we play in the background, including this song playing right now, Wave Murray's by Mark Matthews, the links are in the description on Facebook, YouTube, and I think we can't do it on Instagram or X or the other spots, but if you got us on Facebook or YouTube, the links are in the description. Yo, Chris Chaos in the building. Shout out to our boy Chris.
Salute.
What's poppin'? Salute. Spanish version of salute.
Salute.
Yo, Big Pop, welcome. 67, welcome to the broadcast. All right, let's turn this down. Let's get into it. Remy in the Henny in the loud is the reason why my vision's so blurry.
Yeah, niggas been still lying on Trump. I don't know why, because the niggas know the truth. Like, there's no reason to lie on a nigga. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, that's why, like, I've been sending you the clips of what's her name, Miss Vandella, the girl I've been looking at, and she's been like pumping out a lot of content that's been going viral, and it'll be a little bit of truth and a bunch of fucking, what's the word I'm looking for?
Babble.
Bunch of babble and weird stuff that's like definitely a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she knows it's a lie because she's passionate about what she's saying. She's like, oh yeah, you gotta understand that Germany's coming in the United States is in the struggle, blah blah blah, you people. And she's very articulate. But I was like, man, somebody gotta pull her aside. Yo, some sort of stuff you saying is outright lies.
Most of that shit that lady be saying is a lie, dog. Like, I don't know what's up with that lady, but people are so scary. I'm just not a scary individual, man. It ain't no. We done been through mad different presidents, man. Every time a president come around, y'all say that this one is worse than the last one. Y'all said Reagan, then it was Bush Senior, then Bush Junior, and every time a Republican
loved Clinton.
Yeah, but that's because. For no reason, he was shitty too. Because when you look at the after effects of all the stuff he did, he was a shitty president too. Like, niggas liked him because he went to McDonald's and ran around playing the saxophone. Like, come on, man.
But they ain't got that same love for Trump. I used to tell people, Donald Trump could be on national TV give a baby life doing CPR, and if the baby survives, it'd be like, but look at the scowl on his face. He did
they'll have some kind of weird, like even what he said, my mom's telling me to be careful so I don't get deported. I'm like, I'm like, don't let the media scare you. I was born here and you are an American citizen. Yeah, because they running around trying to act like they gonna deport, like make a mistake and deport them. Like, y'all bugging, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this never happened before. Obama was running around deporting people like crazy and nobody said nothing.
Now the only time I've seen a person get deported, they have deported U.S. citizens before in the past, but the U.S. citizen lied, and the country that was receiving them found information that matched that lie, so the country accepted them. But if you were a naturalized citizen, the immigration database will pull up all your shit. There ain't no way they're gonna touch you. They don't want nothing to do. If you're a green card holder who hasn't done any fucking thing, they want nothing to do with you.
You got niggas out here saying shit like, "Oh, Black Americans is next." I'm like, where the fuck they gonna say? Where they sending us to?
Send you back.
Where I'm going, South Carolina. You gonna send me South Carolina, nigga?
They're gonna send you back to the North End.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna send me to the terrace, nigga? Like, what you gonna send me to the terrace, nigga? North Avenue, nigga. 1700 North Avenue, nigga. Like, what?
You know. But
where you gonna send me to? My grandmother was born here.
Yeah. Shit, our great grandparents were born here. Our maybe even great grandparents was here, right?
You talking about United States?
Yeah. Your great
Hell yeah, I can't trace no foreigners like as far back as I could go. There's no, but I found out too, even with my Well, my grandmother, what's the name? They said her people, that wasn't even her grandfather. So now we got to do more research to find her
Wow.
grandfather. That wasn't even her grandfather.
American answer ever. Go fuck yourself and grab my nuts.
Word.
Murder. Or grab my ass by mistake. I'm gonna be like, bro, drop me off into Colombia. I swear I won't come back.
Man.
Yo, if you go to Colombia with a little bit of bread, you're gonna have a good time. You just gotta stay out the wrong hoods.
Yeah, don't go to them cartel ran areas. Like,
And almost
and you
everywhere.
gotta watch them chicks though. Like, you gotta watch them
Yep.
because they will line your ass up. Like,
I was at a Colombian bar years ago, and the girl was like, came up to me and was like, "How you doing?" I was like, "I'm fine." "Oh, you're an American?" I said, "Yeah." "How could you tell?" She was like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I said, "Sure." You want to drink?" I ordered a beer. The beer was like fucking $10. I was, how the fuck I'm in Colombia and a Heineken costs $10? So I ordered the beer. I said, "This is gonna be my last beer." I asked her if she wanted one. She's like, "Nah, I want to go to your hotel." I was like, I was like, "Nah." Then she was like, "Well, you could come to my apartment." I was like, "Nah." Then she was like, "Oh, you scared?"
no.
I said, "Yeah, y'all be kidnapping niggas. I mean, you ain't gonna kidnap me somewhere and get me robbed."
Scared as fuck. Yeah, you ain't even about to play on my ego.
Oh,
yeah, I'm scared as hell.
You scared? Hell yeah, I'm scared.
He said they call me Better
sorry,
Blanco for Medellin.
They call me Benny Blanco for Medellin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like,
people
man.
saying all kind of stuff, man. I don't know. I'm like, man, y'all still this nigga in the office. This the crazy shit. That's what I'm gonna tell you. People, you could get your money up now because they ain't targeting us. They targeting some other people. So should be the time for us to really make our come up because targeting us like they normally be targeting us. Like, so get your money, man. Like the last time was off, it was having shit.
Yeah, I got to tell people, if you panicking because you're an immigrant, the problem they have is that they've mixed the undocumented population like language wise with the documented population, so they're calling every single person an immigrant. You don't have the problems the people they're talking about have. If you came here legitimately, how immigration law works, if you came in legally, the government has to prove you no longer have a right to be here. If you came in illegally, you have to prove that you have a right to be here. So the preponderance of the evidence to prove that you have the right to be here is completely on the person or the non-citizen, the migrant, or whatever the hell they're calling them these days, because they keep changing the language to confuse the argument. They start everybody's an immigrant.
That's the Democrats. That's the Democrats. They like changing, like redefining words type shit. They're illegal aliens to me still. You know what I'm saying? All that migrant shit, nigga, get out of here with that. Like,
I'm still programmed
trying to cop. That's your job. That's different. Like, if it was my job, I'd be using proper language too. But shit, nigga, I'm a regular civilian.
I'll let you get that because I don't want to pull it down. Yeah, it's Poppy's turn, but I feel like it's gonna screw themselves because all of them jobs like labor and what about no one wants to do is now shut down, not able to keep up because no workers. Well, here's the deal. They act like there's not immigration laws that bring workers in to do those jobs. There are immigration laws. It takes time and effort to make it happen, but there are laws that bring people can migrate here for business purposes. And more of the border towns have a lot of people that come across legally to work down there. But if you got a skill or a talent, huh?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So if you got a skill or a talent that's needed, there's all sorts of laws in the books that allow you to get a legal way to come in here. But yeah, this might be a pain in the ass, and I know a contractor might not be willing to do all that work, but if they got work that needs to be done, they need the talent, so they gotta fucking
let me say this for real, like, you know how they be like all the immigrants is coming here doing jobs that normal people don't want to do. That a lot of them is doing jobs that the little kids used to do. Working in McDonald's, the grocery store jobs, the pushing the cart back, all that shit used to be children jobs, like high school summer jobs and shit like that. Used to be for them. Now the immigrants is doing it, shoveling snow. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like
Well,
it's not no shortage of where's no shortage of workers. They run that scam all they want. There's no shortage of workers. Like them companies just like to have them come in so they can underpay them. That's all that is. It's business, but it's illegal, but it's business.
yeah, I could see, but then I also did hear this from someone years ago, and this was over a decade ago, and this was out in Connecticut. They said if you go to 7-Eleven to pick up a day worker and you don't promise to pay them $10 an hour or better, they'll hop out your shit. So they're not as much of a sucker as people think they are. They're gonna want to, but you can get them to work.
That's anecdotal though. That's his
Yeah.
story. You feel what I'm saying? It's other stories where motherfuckers is just taking anything too. Like you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
or you'll have them do some shit that you had to pay somebody $250 a day. And you giving them $100. That's still underpaying them. Like
it still is even $10 an hour for construction work is underpaying them anyway.
Them, right?
Anyway,
that's what I'm saying.
But,
so they still cutting corners. Like they're not taking $3 or no sweatshop shit because you can't even do that in America because you can't afford to buy shit with that. Like,
well, and on top of all the rest of the crap, when it comes down to circumstance, if the people get desperate enough and no one's taking anybody at all, they're gonna have to take the lesser amount of money. But even in the end, when you hire them, who's to police you to make sure you pay them fairly? You could just decide not to pay them.
You could just say I ain't paying you. You can't even do nothing.
This is what you get. Now
I'm pretty sure they be doing shit like that to them too, like giving them the run around when it comes time to pay them. I'm pretty sure they be doing that.
And I'm pretty sure that some of these dudes will hand the ass whooping to that motherfucker and then bounce to another state.
Some of them, but most of them ain't. Most of them people, to be honest, most of them people is docile though, my nigga. Most of them, because you will be hearing about more assaults and shit happening. You know what I'm saying?
You do in highly populated, undocumented areas. There is a lot of assaults and essays and shit like that because we used to have to pick them.
No, I'm talking about at the work. I'm talking about at the work site, like that type of shit. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Not just regular assaults. I'm talking about work site shit.
You reminded me, man. There was an old dude that picked up a brother to do some work for him, and then after the work was done, the old dude tried to short the brother with money. So the brother starts recording. I don't know why the brother did this. He said, "So tell me again, what you gonna do?" He said, "I'm just pay you this." That's not what we promised on. That's not what we promised on. You think I'm playing with you? And the brother slapped the taste out of that. What? I was like, yo, why is you recording you breaking the law, my boy? And then
I ain't go front. Sometimes, you know why? Some of that ignorant shit, I'll be like, why did you do that? But then other times I'll be like, the psychology of it is I'm gonna post it so you don't do this to nobody else.
Okay, that makes sense. That
you feel what I'm saying? I'll take this little case, I'll take this little charge bond out, but I'm gonna post this so you don't do this shit to nobody else. And I want everybody to see what you be doing too. Like that could be that. Like I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that's what it was. Yeah,
on principle. Yeah. And honestly, from the way the brother was talking, it might not have been his first time going to jail because he was just real comfortable.
Oh nah, I think I seen that before. Even how he slapped him, like he knew he was going to jail. Like that ain't no. See, one thing I tell you, one thing about us, right? One thing about us. That's why when white people be acting like they gotta worry about black people in the ghettos and in the hoods and all that. For one thing, we know we put our hands on somebody white. We know the police is coming crazy, like so. That's why most people ain't really trying to do nothing to no white people unless it's like a crackhead or something. But like a regular white people, people don't really be doing nothing to white people in the hoods, man. Because we know the police coming. We know y'all tell everything. Even the ones that be acting tough, they'll tell everything.
Yo, you know what's funny is may rest in peace. Patrice O'Neal had this bit where he said he don't even litter no more. Like he said, let's say I'm walking down the street drinking a can of Coca-Cola and I'm sipping on it and I throw it away and it falls over the fence on top of the body of a slain. He said, "Now I'm the Coca-Cola killer." My fingerprints is on my DNA. He said, "No, I'm the Coca-Cola
DNA,
killer."
everything. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yo, rest in peace, Patrice O'Neal, man. Gone too soon, man.
That nigga was hilarious. I swear to God, his jokes were so out of space. Like they used to come out of left field a lot. Like,
yo, he reminds me like his approach and his fearlessness with humor does remind me of your boy that you feature on your channel.
Corey Holcomb, I swear to God, reminds me of him
yeah.
of like a motherfucker. He do.
But
Corey is a little more crass with it though. Like Corey be wild. Yeah, Corey be wild. Like I ain't going front, but Patrice was more slick with his shit, like edgy but slick with it.
But in real life, face to face, Patrice was more crass too, because that's what screwed him out of a lot of opportunities too to make money in other areas. Yeah, but he said he knew the right. He said, I knew the right people to make enough money to survive, though. But he said, I'm not gonna be mainstream. I know that.
See, that's the thing with Hollywood too. Like all the real funny people will never make it to the top. Mm. It's like they'll take like somebody they control and had them steal all the shit from the real funny people and put them up front, the one that be stealing all the shit. That's how it's like they be doing that on purpose. Weird how they do it. Like the real talented people would never make it to where they supposed to. Like,
or if they do, like, you know, one of the craziest shits I thought, if you know Richard Pryor's story, Richard Pryor was not only a talented comedian, but he was a very talented comedic writer too. He wrote good stuff. Mm-hmm. And like even with Blazing Saddles, that main character was supposed to be Richard Pryor. They didn't think he was marketable at the time, so they picked a brother they thought that was more marketable.
Right.
Yeah, and the dude, what's his other the white dude, that Mel, whatever his name.
Mel Brooks
wanted Richard on it. Richard got credit for the writing, but Mel Brooks didn't have enough push and sway to get Hollywood to go along with what he wanted. But he pushed it the other way. But then after the success of that and some other stuff, but you could see a little bit of Richard in it. Like when the mug said, hey, they had them the Klan members, and he said, hey, we about to get him over here. And it had the dude that was the criminal pull the dude that was the sheriff in the punk. Look what I got over here. And he go, where the white women at? Mm-hmm. And then they all say, what the hell? And they all go after him. That's all scenes written by Richard and shit. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, Richard was the GOAT. I ain't gonna front, but Richard is like the real talent is like one of none. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like most of them, look at the other comedians though that blew up. Eddie was real talented, but it ain't too many of them. Most of them is like they was stealing jokes, they was doing all kind of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The creativity it takes to the talent and drive it takes to be consistently creative for an extended period of time. Cat Williams said it when he was talking with Theo Vaughn. He was like, you always got to have a goal to do something else. He said, like, my journey isn't done. I still haven't been the funniest I could be yet. He said he feel that he hasn't been. And it was real grounded. Like that Theo Vaughn and Cat Williams interview, it showed a little bit of brilliance of Cat, and then Cat went on there showing Theo respect. But even with Theo, my favorite thing when he asked him, he said, before his issues, did you ever get to meet Bill Cosby? And then Cat Williams sits there awkwardly silent. Were those issues grape? Being a grapist? And then Theo Vaughn was like, oh wow, he went there with it. I wasn't gonna say that. and then Theo Vaughn bought a black nutcracker, and he kept calling it the Cat Williams, and he was showing it on his show that, hey, listen, man, they got a Cat Williams at the store. I bought a Cat Williams, and Cat just went along with it when he went there. He said, well, they took my likeness.
Cat is hilarious, man.
You know, he's just a brilliantly funny dude.
Yeah, I fuck with Cat. Like I said, you gotta be smart to be funny like that. There's no way you could be dumb and be them comedians be smart, dog. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of them be intricate, like a lot of them be deep thinkers, like because a lot of them jokes, as funny as they be, you gotta be smart to come up with that shit a lot of the times, especially to be writing like hour specials and be remembering them shits, like remembering all them jokes in sequence.
And I think even with the if you look back at most of the great comedy specials, every now and again they got a little bit of crowd work in it. So when they was creating the material, they were doing crowd work, and that might have helped them come up with other ideas. But the truly talented comedians could be funny from the hip.
Yeah,
they just like you could give them a little bit and they make a lot. And exaggerating. Like, who was it that said? They said comedy is taking the truth sometimes, but twisting it and exaggerating it and expanding upon it to make it funny. Because sometimes,
I ain't gonna lie, that nigga Nate Jackson crowd work joints he be doing, them shits be like specials, nigga. And I swear to God, them shits be having me in tears sometimes. Like, I'll be like, this nigga is a different kind of funny. Like, in tears. And that shit, none of that shit is written down. Like,
nope. And he even says it like at the beginning.
Yep.
For those who don't know it here, this is the crowd work special. I can't do any written material. And he said, if it comes to your section and you look away, you got that 1 second to look away. But if you make eye contact with me, you now in the show. And he does pick it. He'll leave some people alone. But I like it when he be trying to hook up people. That just be hilarious. That's just hilarious when he's trying to like.
He does that all the time because it's the big couples that done got married, all that shit, and then he done seen them in future shows, and they done told him like, "Oh, such we the couple from such and such." He be matchmaking though, like that shit worked. It worked.
I just saw one recently. It was a white girl sitting up front, and she had braids on, and she had like body butter on that was glistening a little bit, and she was quite blessed in the chest. And he was like, "Oh, damn!" Them titties is glowing. he was going. You got the Bo Derek braids. He had a whole line of just material that came off his head.
Yeah, that nigga is hilarious. I ain't gonna lie, son. If anybody out there, if you never watched Nate Jackson, that nigga is hilarious, though. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Nigga go on stage for an hour, mad times. He do it a lot. He be posting a lot of them shits, at least like once a month. Like he do that shit.
And you know what he does too?
One joke where he told this nigga to stop acting light skinned and he started singing.
I love that one.
I swear to God, I couldn't. The first time I seen that, I couldn't breathe when he did that shit. Cause he could really sing. Like,
he has actual recordings. He has music.
Yeah,
he recorded music.
He can sing.
He said, I get shot. I go, oh, you go, oh.
Yeah, that shit. He did that.
And it shot me. Hold up. Nah, we probably get a copyright on playing that. Never mind. I wanted to play that. Man, they done shot me.
Funny. I swear to God, that shit is so funny, nigga.
Look at me. Stop looking at yourself on the screen. Stop acting light skinned.
Man.
Y'all ever? Did you already read this one from Chris?
I don't think so. Probably not. Probably a couple of them shits. You gotta go to the top. Car wash, please.
All right. No, car wash right here. Car wash, please. Got me right.
I like that dude. Let's take go because I found out he's going to the strip club. Get to do it. Hold on.
Is there one way to do? Go to the boss and found out he was going to the strip club and get his daughter to dance on him like I'm fired. Fine, I guess. Where I'm gonna go? Yeah. Y'all ever in a car out of nowhere, 90s dance hall reggae come on, and you start throwing the finger, the boop, boop, boop in the air, Crave Oxtail. Yo, shout out to Sean Paul, man, the dance hall king. Shout out to Sean Paul, man. Oh, your mic's off.
He tried to make a rumor, nigga. Sean Paul tried to make a rumor about after he did that song with Beyonce, Jay-Z blackballed him. All right, nigga.
I mean, how? I mean, is that
Why?
the last? Is that the last song? Is that the last hit that motherfucker made?
I think so. He
I don't
fell
know,
off after that. But why though?
but that
That's
should have been
my
something that was
why
exactly a
did I
six.
don't understand that Jay-Z boogeyman shit. I don't like that. That shit weird. Like,
Well, you
when
know
did
what gives
Jay-Z become the
you,
boogeyman? This nigga was a drug dealer. Like, what?
you know
What?
you know what gives credence to the Jay-Z boogeyman was when Jay-Z was blackballing Chris Brown after he laid the smacketh down on Riri, and Jay-Z was like,
But was he really
he was
blackballed
full of
though?
he was.
Chris
There's no
Brown
proof.
never fell off though. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Chris with after that re stuff, Chris lost the bag. He lost a lot of sponsorships. He was
Yeah, but
pulled off.
that ain't my I ain't even gonna front. See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
Mhm.
when Chris Brown started losing shit, how was that Jay-Z fault? That shit happens to everybody when you them kind of
When you
cases.
get into some sort of
Yeah,
controversy,
I
that
don't get how that's even like I don't that Jay-Z boogeyman shit is weird to me. Like, this nigga was a street nigga. Like, how did he become like all of a sudden like the ghost, like Kaiser Soze now? Like, every time something happened to somebody, Jay-Z the mystical magical, he did it. Like, what? Y'all
the
niggas weird.
boogeyman.
Like, yeah, that
He's
shit crazy.
the wealthy gatekeeper they speak of
This
that
the
made.
thing, right? If Jay-Z was so much of a gatekeeper, why he can't stop Dame from talking about him?
This is true.
Dame been running his mouth. Mad niggas been running their mouth about Jay-Z for decades. Like, he just ignore that shit until you say something salacious on a big platform. Then he'd send his
Then he'll
lawyers out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
give a
Like,
cease and desist.
yeah, like, cause you niggas lying on a big platform. Like, but I don't understand the Jay-Z boogeyman shit. Like, that shit is strange to me. Like,
Yo, Sean Paul be burning, not concerning. Yo, Chris K, shout out to my boy. Yeah, I think that a lot of times even with the whole Jay-Z thing is there's circumstances that came up, like even with the Super Bowl, that allegedly Jay-Z didn't want 50 Cent on it, and M refused to do it without 50. And honestly, even with that Super Bowl situation, 50 Cent is a huge chunk of Eminem's success catalog. You know what I'm saying? 50 was pushing those numbers. So they needed the history of Dr. Dre, and that even though 50 was around a hell of a lot longer than M, but Dr. Dre's protege was Eminem, and Snoop Dogg was Snoop Dogg first, then M. But then M bought 50, and that was M's protege was 50, even though 50 was already in the industry creating and doing stuff. And then Terrell was even said before, he was like, he don't think that he thinks 50's success was imminent, regardless of whether Eminem signed him or not. But I was like, but Eminem did, so M signed him. So and he rightfully so shows respect to M, which I would, because when everyone's trying to blackball you and shut you down, it takes a special individual to go against the grain. But hold up, I'll wait till Terrell come back. We got a couple of videos in here I want to look at. We got a liberal hive mind video. Are they both liberal? Oh, they both. No, one is it's about a Lyft situation where there was a rapper that was refused a Lyft ride and she sued. I seen her before. Hold on, let's see what you got here. Jay-Z and Beyonce are marrying from the Matrix. Oh, how do you say that? Marivjan from the Matrix, and P. Diddy is the agent. Yo, how do you say that name? Brell's gonna have to read that name for me.
Hold on.
Marivjan. It's on the
I can't
screen.
even see. Merovingian.
Merovingian. Okay.
Yeah,
And he said P. Diddy's like Agent Smith.
yeah, the Merovingian. You remember did you see the Matrix?
Yeah, I saw all of them.
The Merovingian was the dude that had the little twin little things that was chasing Neo and them shit. I forgot what he was, like, an anomaly though.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a Matrix binge watch session again from the first one all the way through in Discord one of these days when I got some folks that want to watch it. That I'm gonna just do the shit by myself. I rewatched a bunch of old movies.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I watched that shit so many times. All three of them shits. I watch that. So when I get bored, I'll just watch because I watch them all like one movie because it is basically one movie. I ain't like part 4 though. I ain't like the 4th one.
The very last one.
Yeah, I ain't like that shit. Like,
I gotta take a peek. I gotta take a peek at it again.
you didn't see that shit? Yeah,
no, I saw it. Only saw it once though.
Yeah, I ain't like that shit. Keanu Reeves getting too old for that shit. He's 60 years old.
I just rewatched John Wick, the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's a good movie. The first John Wick was a good movie, man. I like the scene.
I ain't gonna lie, all 4 of them shits is the same good.
Good, yeah. There wasn't a diminish.
They all like the same good. Like it ended good. I like it was straight. Like John Wick is fire. That's one of my favorite movies for real. Like this, as far as a 4 series, like that shit is fire. Like,
I like the scene where John Leguizamo was the chop shop, and his mug bought in John Wick's car and told him what he did. He said, "Where'd you get this car? What does it matter? Where'd you get this car?" Da 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 da. And then he said some goofy shit. We own you. He's like, "You don't own me. I work for your father." Why is you worried about a nobody? And Leguizamo's character punched the dude in the face, and everyone pulled their gun out, and he grabs the gun all crazy and puts it on his forehead. Then the father calls. He's like, "What's this I hear? You struck my son." Yeah, he stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. Oh.
That dog shit. That nigga John Wick was going crazy over that dog in that car, dog. Going crazy. Because the second one, if you remember the second one starts off with him going to get his car.
Mm-hmm. I gotta watch it again. I think I own all of them. Here, let me check.
Yeah, I got them shits on my Fire Stick. All them shit. I watch them all the time. First one is fire. All them shits is good. I ain't gonna lie. Every last one of them shits is good. Like,
here we go. Am I logged in?
Yeah, I got all them shits. John Weezy.
Let me see.
That nigga Keanu Reeves could really shoot like John Wick too.
Well, with all the training he had, I watched him go through firing courses. Yeah. I got all of them. All of them on
Amazon.
No, I got them all on Voodoo, the old Voodoo Fandango.
Yeah.
I got 4K UHD, all of them. I think I didn't have the first one, and I went and bought it. Because I didn't like not having all of them. Oh, they got a 4-film package. Guess how much it costs for the 4-film bundle? I ain't buying that. I already own them all.
$150.
Nah, $34.99. $34.99.
That's not bad. Good money. Yeah, that's good money.
And it's probably
all rushes for his car. Facts. I would have been like, take the freaking man. I don't know why they was holding this shit. Just give me. But really, after he killed the dog, it was a wrap. He running. What's his name? Son. He really wanted to kill the son. It wasn't. It was too late once he killed the dog. Like,
now you know the actor that played the father villain. My boy, rest in peace. My boy passed away from stomach cancer.
Recently?
Not stomach cancer, lung cancer. No, it was way back in 2017.
Oh damn, he must have died after the movie and shit.
Not too long. He probably died fairly soon after the movie came out. Yeah.
Shit, he was black. The black dude, the black bald head dude that worked in the Continental died after the last one.
He played. I forgot the name of the game he played regularly. He did a lot of voice work for video games too. The black brother, and when he died, his character was loaded into an open world. And they had a worldwide memorial service for him where all gamers just loaded in, thousands of gamers just loaded in to show homage to him.
Yeah, that's fine.
That is crazy. Gaming world is crazy. That was, hold up, where we at?
Nigga, some of them campaign stories be better than movies. Like, I ain't gonna front. The Grand Theft Auto 5 campaign story, I watch that shit all the time. I swear to God, I go back and it's like 12 hours or 15 hours or some shit.
I
And
gotta
that
watch
shit
the whole
all the
campaign.
time. Yeah, I watch it all the time. All the time.
Okay, so the John Wick movie came out 2014, and our brother died in 2017. I'm looking for his page. Damn, I don't even see him on here. And he was not a Swiss, a Swiss. Oh, this is him right here. I don't know how to mess his name up. His name is Michael Nyqvist Nevis. I think that's his name. We can move on. But yeah, the brother died of cancer.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, but I got all of them hoes. I got all of them hoes. And the dude from the Game of Thrones too was on there. That the Allen, which that dude from the Game of Thrones, you know, this motherfucker's related to hold up, I'll pull him up real quick.
Yeah, I never watched the Game of Thrones ever in life. I can't get into the dragon shit. I can't I can't get into that shit.
Outside of the fairy tale shit and the dragon shit, it's got a good complicated storyline. And it's weird because no matter how weird it gets, it still ain't as weird as the true history of royal families in Europe.
Did you see the trailer Did you see the trailer to that new Michael B. Jordan shit?
Nah. What's it about?
That shit look fire. I wonder if we could pull it up here without getting a copyright claim. Probably not though, but fuck it. You pull it up. Try to test the waters. Fuck it. Pull that shit up. It's called Sinners.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Michael
B. Jordan, yep. Trailer. That shit look crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. It's already got a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, of course. It's promotion. You know how that shit go.
Sinners official trailer. I mean, we shouldn't get a copyright from playing an official trailer. It's free advertisement.
All right.
Hold on, let me hit this. So let me pause it. Let me turn the music off. I got them playing in the background. I'm so on. All right. Minimize. Let's add it to the stage. All right. In action.
Vacation. I'm going to see that shit for my birthday too. That shit come out. I'm on vacation that week too, or the week after. Yeah, that same weekend. Matter of fact, I'm going to see it. I'm definitely going to see that shit.
Quick fact: there was one of the major Tommy gun factories was actually in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The barrel guns, the Tommy guns from the 20s. That's wild. Oh, I found this shit out, and it's some weird shit. It's not really on topic, but there was a grave of a Civil War, a high-ranking officer that had been desecrated, and this was in the 70s, right? And they came to the grave. A lady called the cops, and they came to the graves, and they found inside the grave, on top of the coffin, was a fresh corpse. But it was missing a head, and it was missing an arm or something. It was missing some appendages. I don't remember the whole thing. So it was an old school. The coroner and all the law enforcement didn't come out till late. So they removed the body from the grave, right? And the body was still it was in a form of decomposition, but the flesh was still pink, and it was all this other stuff. So they couldn't tell how old it was till they examined it.
Yeah.
So they brought the body back, and it was missing a head and some other shit, right? So as they bring the body back, they did a bunch of goofy shit that they would never do today. They left the body sitting in some cooler at the dude's house over a day or so, and then brought it back to the thing and started examining it and all this other stuff. And then somebody finds a skull in the grave, but the skull They're gonna find a vampire. Man, when we gonna find a vampire? Be like, yo, bro, what's up? Yo,
Hell
so,
no.
anyway, fast forward to make a long story short. What happened was it was grave robbers trying to steal the body of the person in the coffin. Now, the coffin was sealed in such a way and it was preserved with cyanide. So the body they pulled out was actually the body of the general from the Civil War. It was his body. And when they found the head, they found out the head matched it. And when they examined the clothes had no synthetic fibers. It was 100% cotton. It didn't have no tags on it. They didn't know. So it just was weird. It was older clothes. And come to find out, they don't preserve bodies with cyanide anymore because it does a good job, but it poisons the whole environment. The cyanide doesn't go away. The body deteriorates, but the cyanide stays. Right. So it preserved, and because the body was in that coffin for so long, preserved with cyanide, and it was protected, where it could burp and breathe and still slightly decompose. A portion of it hadn't decomposed, but because it was saturated with cyanide.
Right.
What was that dude's body? Yo, and this girl, what's her name? I want to give her a shout out. What's her name? Her name is Catherine. Hello, I'm gonna look her shit up real quick because I used to watch her a lot when I would listen to her a lot. Oh, Caitlin Daughtry. She has this channel. Hold up. We could throw it up. We don't gonna be no copyright for this. Her name's Caitlin Daughtry. She was a mortician out of California, and she does a lot of morbid funeral-based industry stuff. Yeah. And she basically she shows like she does an iconic corpse. She tells the history of the horror. Because you know that Lenin in the Soviet Union, his body's still on display. After all these years. His body's still under. Most of his body is wax and other shit. That shit's probably fucked up, but they take him out every now and again, retreat him, and put him back on display. I'm sorry, you put him up.
It's this. Oh, you didn't get to read it. My bad. At this point, we all watched The Mummy and Brendan Fraser, and we all should have known better. Not the facts. He said, "Dude, she looked like my type."
Hey, Chris, how tall are you again? What are you, like, 6'4"?
Oh shit, yeah.
Yo, here's the thing. Yo, she has these bangs and shit, right? And one time, I was watching her on one of her shows, and she was walking. She had some yoga pants. I said, "Yo, let me find." I have been watching her for a couple years. I never seen her body yet. I said, let me find out Caitlin's dragging the wagon. She had thighs, hip, and booty. She's 6'2", bro. She's 6'2". She's your type, bro.
Yo, go to this YouTube channel called Storyfied. It's called STORFIED, I think. Did it pop up? Where the channel at? Did it pop up?
Is that it?
Yeah, go. It's a story up there about this Asian dude that got hit with radiation. Go to videos. Go. Yeah, is this a radioactive death trap? No. World's history. I think this is it too. Yeah, go to the world's worst history. The world's worst. That one with the green shit. Yeah, I think that's it. Click on that. This is the craziest shit.
Composed.
Yeah, this is the craziest shit that I ever seen in my life.
Hisashi Oji found himself in one of the most catastrophic nuclear
accidents. And this wasn't that long ago, right?
Nah, this was rewinded to the beginning so you could get the whole story. Like, now pause it real quick. I ain't gonna lie, this is the worst way anybody could die. I don't care what nobody say. This is some Marvel universe. This nigga basically went through the same shit the Hulk went through, like, but just in real life. But go ahead.
I might have heard this
gruesome
story.
by extreme levels of radiation. Hisashi Ouchi found himself in one of the most catastrophic nuclear accidents in history.
Oh,
What
wow.
began as a routine day at the nuclear facility ended in unimaginable suffering and a prolonged 83-day battle for his survival.
Yo, didn't he like completely melt away in the end? Like he was
from the inside out. Like
On September 30th,
Wow.
1999, at the Tokaimura
1999.
nuclear fuel reprocessing plant in Japan.
that ain't that long ago. It's a while. It's damn near 30 years though.
It's damn
and their
near, but that's still
supervisor,
a blink of the eye in the world's
began their
history.
regular routine of preparing and handling dangerous uranium materials. Many people understand the toxicity of work culture, but no one understands it better than the Japanese. Hisashi Ouchi and his colleagues were caught in a deadly pursuit of deadlines, thanks to corporate greed, cutting corners, and a deeply ingrained Japanese work culture that often disregards workers' safety.
Yo, and they act like it's just Japan. Here in the United States, they disregarded workers' safety.
What all the time?
Almost a century.
Every job, guarantee you, every job, dangerous or not, they doing shit to cut corners and they doing all kind of goofy shit. Like,
and even in the military, you got the Agent Orange crap. There was soldiers that had to fight until they was almost dead to get their rights, to get taken care of.
Man.
Dude, all you needed was some vapor rub and 2
liters of 7 Up and burp it out. Oh my God, nigga.
You forgot he needed some ginger ale too. Maybe not the 7
You gotta have a ginger ale. The ginger ale fix everything.
Yo.
At that time, Japan's energy economy relied heavily on foreign imports until it realized that the country needed to expand its energy sources. This put extreme pressure on the energy industry, which put workers like Ouchi at risk and increased suicide rates. The Tokai nuclear power plant was Japan's first nuclear power station. Fuel for the plant was processed at the Tokaimura facility, operated by the Japan Nuclear Fuel Conversion Company, JCO. At Tokaimura, workers converted uranium hexafluoride into enriched uranium dioxide. This was then further processed into pellets at other facilities. The pellets were placed into tubes, sealed, and assembled into fuel rods, which is the primary fuel used to generate nuclear power. But what transpired isn't as simple as carelessness. The lack of proper knowledge and care for worker safety would soon become their ultimate nightmare. On that fateful day, Ouchi and his colleagues began their day as usual. One of the nuclear plant technician's main responsibilities is managing uranium in 3 crucial steps.
Megan, salute.
First, the dissolution tank. The automated system uses a 5% concentration of uranium powder. And
I took one of the Facebooks out. I only put the Julian Black Facebook up. Hold on, let me pause for a second. I only put the Julian Black Facebook up in hopes that all of were you messaging us on Facebook, Megan, or you just bounced into YouTube automatically? Oh, you been all right? That's what's up. See, we're watching something on a morbid death of a poor guy
at the workplace in Japan
in nanoseconds due to radioactivity.
Nah, but he didn't die though. This is the thing. He didn't die. It took him like a month to die.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part. Just watch this shit. Just watch. You gotta watch. It's crazy. This is the craziest shit I ever heard.
Oh, yeah, I'll play it now. Hold on.
Accidental criticality, also known as a nuclear fission chain reaction. Additionally, this tank controls the drip of uranium into the third and final step, the precipitation tank. The reactions during this process create an intense amount of heat that must be removed. Using a cooling water jacket that surrounds the tank to remove the heat, the technicians oversee the system as it carefully mixes the uranium in this final step. However, 3 years before the accident, JCO altered their procedure to speed up production of this highly dangerous material by skipping crucial steps due to the increasing demand for fuel rods. To meet expectations, JCO bypassed regulatory approval and allowed them to illegally mix the uranium powder in stainless steel buckets instead of using the automated equipment. To make it even worse, JCO was behind schedule with the production of fuel rods. putting even more pressure on the already overworked technicians. So they decided to perform an already hastened process even more recklessly. They also took efficiency to a new level by completely removing their protective equipment and wearing only casual, comfortable clothing. This was when things got extremely dangerous. At approximately 10:35 a.m., unaware of the impending danger, Ouchi and Shinohara began mixing the uranium powder into a steel bucket, but instead exceeded the legal concentration limit by 7 times. Yokokawa watched from an office desk, overseeing the process as Ouchi leaned his body over the precipitation tank while Shinohara stood on a platform to assist in pouring the solution. Suddenly, the gamma radiation alarms began to sound. They had made a horrifying mistake, triggering an uncontrolled nuclear chain reaction. A flash of blue light, known as Cherenkov radiation, lit up the room as it released massive amounts of energy and gamma particles, which proceeded to bombard the surrounding area with lethal doses of gamma radiation. The sudden burst of energy from the nuclear chain reaction caused charged particles like electrons to move faster than the speed of light in the surrounding medium, generating a blinding blue shockwave and confirming the occurrence of an uncontrolled nuclear fission reaction with catastrophic results. The safe exposure limit for technicians and those working around nuclear materials is 20 to 50 millisieverts per year. The crew received a massive dose of approximately 30,000
I'm wondering if they had the
millisieverts
protective
combined.
gear would have even made a
received the
difference.
most radiation,
Hell no.
holding over 17,000 MSV, since he was the closest to the explosive reaction, while Shinohara received 10,000 MSV. Being much further away, Yokokawa only received a dose of 3,000 MSV. While the 3-person crew fled the scene immediately, none of them could get that far, thanks to the excruciating pain now searing through their bodies. As they rapidly became nauseous and short of breath, Ouchi and Shinohara rushed towards the decontamination room, where Ouchi vomited and ultimately lost consciousness. Once the fuel processing plant officials realized the situation, they immediately evacuated the rest of the employees to prevent more radiation exposures. Officials took the 3 men to the National Institute of Radiological Sciences in Chiba. Yet, once they realized the nature of Ouchi's case, they decided to transfer him to the University of Tokyo Hospital, where there are more qualified staff along with advanced equipment to treat and support Ouchi's recovery. On the evening of September 3rd,
he didn't get any superpowers. That's messed up.
In good spirits. The outside seemed fine, but as soon as they learned, looks can be deceiving. Nurses noted his swollen arm, seemingly sunburnt skin, but several believed he would go home soon. But little did they know, this was only the beginning.
Pause it. Did you hear how they said he looked fine?
Mm-hmm.
They said only thing they noticed was his arm was sore, had a little tan and shit like that.
Sunburn. Not realizing all the internal damage. If it said it destroyed his DNA, every cell in his body was breaking down from the inside out.
That shit is crazy though. Some real live Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shit. Like he got hit with the plasma, like gamma radiation. Like
no superpower.
No superpowers. But yeah.
History. Adding insult to injury, JCO officials painted Ouchi and his colleagues as fools who wanted to leave work earlier. They claimed they mixed the uranium powder in buckets of their own free will to save time. Despite Ouchi's positive attitude, his condition was dire. When the hospital staff learned about his workplace accident, they ordered a biopsy of his bone marrow. The human body steadily replaces old cells over time, thanks to chromosomes inside our body. Chromosomes contain our DNA and the blueprint for the repairing process. Without this natural mechanism, we wouldn't survive, and neither would Ouchi. As the doctors received the test results, they realized that this fundamental mechanism in his cells was damaged beyond repair. Ouchi's chromosomes were either fused together abnormally or broken into small pieces from the radiation blast, showing no signs of their expected shape. His DNA was so badly damaged that the repairing process was non-existent. Their grim discovery made them soon realize that Ouchi's case was no mere case of minor radiation sickness. Despite Ouchi looking fine, this period of good health would be short-lived, as the doctors described him as being in what is called the walking ghost phase. During this phase, the patient may appear healthy, but is actually in a very fragile state, which could potentially last for hours or even days. In short, Ouchi was a ticking time bomb, and his excruciating suffering was about to begin. Imagine living in a world where every door handle is potentially lethal, and a simple handshake could be your last. This is the constant, nerve-wracking reality for someone with an almost non-existent immune system. The emotional toll is immense. Every interaction, every outing, every meal becomes a calculated risk. For Ouchi, this was his new reality.
That's what people were saying too, that with all the carcinogens in our environment, your body protects you from cancer every freaking day. You consume shit that's cancerous. Your body protects you. And it's the one time that it doesn't, and the cancer takes hold and it starts growing, or it does, or whatever happened to make your immune system not attack it appropriately. That's when you wind up having the cancer cells form. And that's when you wind up getting whatever you get, bone cancer, lung cancer, and all this other shit. But your body protects you every day. Shout out to the immune system. You know what I mean?
Facts. White blood cells and shit like that.
You know what I mean?
Man. To combat this new danger, the head physician, Kazuhiko Maekawa, decided that a sterile environment was his best chance at survival. Having zero white blood cells, the 35-year-old technician's immune system was useless in a fight against many once harmless pathogens. But with the constant threat of infections out of the way, his medical team knew that he needed a healthy supply of fresh chromosomes to help his body heal. Fortunately, there was an experimental cancer treatment called a hematopoietic stem cell transplant. His body needed the biological fuel to create new cells and replace his damaged ones. The experimental treatment would take donor bone marrow cells and inject them into Ouchi. The idea is that these new cells would give his body the materials needed to start producing healthy bone marrow cells again.
Seems like
experimental, successful treatment.
They was trying everything they could, for real.
Closely matched Ouchi's. Fortunately, the medical staff were able to find a suitable donor in Ouchi's sister. The team went to work administering the experimental treatment. Although being the first in the world to receive this treatment, the doctors were hopeful. Yet, they did not want to mince words with Ouchi's family. They needed to understand the gravity of his situation and the likely result of his exposure. Ouchi himself didn't fully grasp the gravity of his situation. He asked the nurses if he could go home, and also asked about the risk of developing leukemia from such high radiation exposure. However, he did not have the luxury of time to develop leukemia, and the effects of radiation poisoning began to set in sooner rather than later. Ouchi's skin lost its youthful elasticity, peeling off as medical staff removed the medical tape holding the many machines hooked up to his body. This meant that the doctors couldn't use medical tape or adhesives of any kind on his skin.
I remember seeing photos of
the
him.
Poor man's lung filled with fluid, stifling his ability to breathe or speak. As the fluid continued to build up in his lungs, it sapped his remaining strength, keeping him bedridden. Though he couldn't move or speak much, Ouchi still expressed his love for his wife and family members who had yet to leave his side. But his condition worsened again, the fluid in his lungs robbing his ability to breathe on his own. Ouchi's medical team set him up on assisted breathing, holding on hope that his treatments would begin to heal his damaged body. About 10 days after the stem cell transplant, Dr. Maekawa performed another test to see if the treatment was successful. Miraculously,
the combination of Chinese food and matcha tea from Wawa and organic American Spirit cigarettes keep me immortal.
This was good news, but like the walking ghost phase, it was sick. In the next week, Ouchi's condition started to get worse again. This is when things really got out of hand. Frustrated, Dr. Maekawa performed an endoscopy to find out what had gone wrong and why the treatment failed. What he discovered revealed the true nature of Ouchi's struggle and what he was about to endure.
Oh, wow.
The endoscopy revealed that the protective membrane in his intestine had died and was falling apart. Without the healthy membrane, the human body can't absorb water, nutrients, or get any nourishment from food. This meant that either death or starvation or dehydration would be Ouchi's end. Even
That
this
shit
wasn't the
crazy.
worst of what was in store for Ouchi.
And that wasn't the
Dr.
worst.
Maikawa
Like
had
what?
investigated further, focusing on the transplanted stem cells. Because of the radiation blast, the exposure left residual radiation in Ouchi's body, which corrupted the healthy transplanted cells, ultimately failing to regenerate his
Yes,
immune system.
radiation.
Now, Ouchi was worse than
What's
when
up,
he came
V?
in, and his suffering was about to increase exponentially.
The
He
minor,
began
yeah.
to suffer from intestinal issues, producing about 3 liters of diarrhea a day. The fluid loss continued.
What? Pause. Did you hear that?
You watch this case. Yeah, 3 liters of diarrhea. I've heard about this case. I read some articles and seen videos. I never saw the whole extent of it.
I'm just saying 3 liters though a day.
That's a lot.
Nigga, that's like
Very sad.
That's like a large soda and a half, like a day.
Yeah,
like,
so the 2 liter soda and then another extra liter on top.
yeah, like oh my god.
Yeah, this poor guy.
Yeah, I swear I feel for that dude. He was strong though.
I mean, his family was there for him, and he died. And even though he passed surrounded by people who loved him.
Yeah,
And his sister and them, they
35,
tried,
man.
and they're still gonna.
They tried. The doctors did too. They tried. I ain't going front. They tried everything they could. Like they tried.
I'm surprised the stem cell circumstance. Probably if he had a little less radiation, maybe it might have worked. The stem cells from his sister.
I don't think nothing. Once that radiation get in your body that much, you finish. Like, them niggas had raw radiation in their body.
And he was right there. He got like 30,000, whatever that shit was.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible 3 liters of diarrhea. Drink some.
Oh come on, man.
Sit on my milk. They have no plan for the weekend, and you'll get 3 liters. What kind of milk is this?
What do you say? Citrus. What is that? Milk and orange juice or something mixed? Like what the fuck is
Milk
that?
and
Chris?
magnesia.
I ain't gonna lie. Chris, you a smart nigga because you be knowing about shit that nobody don't know about. Like, what the hell is that? Like, even how he spelled the Merovingian, like I would have had to Google that shit.
Yeah. See, that's one of the reasons Chris is funny. He's extremely intelligent motherfucker.
Smart, that nigga smart, man. What the fuck is citrus?
We're gonna have to get that fool on stage one of these days, do some bits.
That nigga Chris funny.
Yeah, definitely he gonna be on the pod though. Because whenever you're ready, Chris.
Nigga Chris funny as hell, nigga.
You'll be so yes, and it gets worse. Poor guy.
Yeah, play that shit. Let me Google
Yes, sir.
citrus.
Control of his bowels and began to bleed internally. His bleeding had gotten worse due to the loss of the protective membrane. The blood loss was so catastrophic that doctors had to replace it with 10 blood transfusions per day. This also meant that Ouchi was in constant pain, needing a drip of fentanyl to ease his suffering. His skin continued to blister and peel off to the point where his body could no longer hold onto anything.
Diabolical.
With dehydration looming, his medical team worked tirelessly to replace 10 liters of fluid loss per day. The hospital staff wrapped Ouchi in bandages to help preserve the fluids, but this only made it worse. His skin peeled and seeped fluids. His fluid loss became so severe that the doctor had to measure just how much he was losing to know what to replace. The problem was so terrible that replacing all of Ouchi's bandages took nearly half a day. Finally,
imagine
Dr.
how much
Maikawa
pain, a half a day of
began to
pain.
use skin grafts in a last-ditch effort to help Ouchi's body retain fluids. However, with severe dehydration, the skin grafts couldn't adhere to Ouchi's disintegrating skin.
Imagine so.
His pain was unbearable, but his family remained hopeful that he would get better. At one point, Ouchi couldn't open or close his eyes, and nurses even reported
Okay, V.
seeing blood.
I understand you got to bounce. Once you finish this, we'll move to something more upbeat if you come back later.
Running out. Dr. Maikawa
Thank you for coming. I appreciate you.
Every day to help Ouchi, but their efforts failed. 2 months into their work, Ouchi showed no signs of improvement. Imaginable agony. but his family still
We're
wouldn't
almost
give up.
actually, you're almost
Yet,
done.
Ouchi could take no more and just wanted to be home. Finally,
Yeah.
Ouchi's pain became so overwhelming that the medical staff placed him in a medically induced coma. His temporary improvement was again short-lived as the doctors realized that his organs were shutting down. First, his heart was pumping at twice the rate it should have been due to the continuous stress on his body.
Yeah.
Though he was in a state of rest, his heart was beating as if he were running a 100-yard dash.
What the
It worked so hard
fuck?
during the time that it stopped beating. Because there was no do not resuscitate order in place,
They kept
brought
bringing him back.
But once they did, his brain, though active, was barely hanging on by a thread. Shortly after, his liver and kidneys shut down, leaving him entirely dependent on the machines to keep
His
him
whole body was shutting down. Like,
Dr. Mike
Man.
Kawa spoke with Ouchi's family, convincing them to sign the do not resuscitate and end
So they
his
could let him
suffering.
go.
Then, on December 21st, 1999, despite the doctor's best efforts, including revolutionary stem cell transplants, skin grafts, and blood transfusions, Ouchi's body could not recover. He died from multiple organ failure. The 35-year-old, hard-working family man could finally be at peace. Of the three-person
pause
crew,
it.
Muhara also died.
You can probably
You sure?
stop it there, but that shit's so crazy, nigga. When I first
The last,
seen that,
I want to
was,
see the last two survive though. I didn't.
none of them
did they
niggas
all
survived.
survive?
Go ahead, play it.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I don't think so. None of them niggas ain't
from
survived.
Oh,
fever
shit.
and related injuries. Though exposed to dangerous levels of radiation, Yokokawa survived the incident. But his
he
involvement
did.
in negligence landed him in heavy legal trouble. About 49 workers were exposed to the radiation blast. 6 officials from JCO, including Yokokawa, were charged with professional negligence and violating nuclear
So
safety
he
laws.
barely
The
lived
company
in.
paid 12.6 billion yen to settle compensation claims from affected businesses and
That ain't
local
no
residents.
money.
Yo.
Oh, he survived that shit. That
Yeah, the
nigga
last one, but then he got stuck in court.
Yeah, but I bet you he got all kind of issues behind that shit too. Like,
Yeah, probably still definitely all kinds of issues.
he got hit with the gamma radiation. That nigga, that other nigga, he died something crazy, dog. Like, he basically melted from the inside out. He was drowning. Everything was happening to that nigga. He was burning, drowning,
Starving,
starving,
bleeding to death.
it bleeded. His fluids was draining out of it. Yo, son. Yo.
Shit. And that's what, like, what's it called when you have an unchecked infection and it spreads to your body and your organs start shutting down? It's like toxicity, I think it's called.
Yeah, when that poison get into your bloodstream type shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about. Like, that shit is crazy, dog. It's some on that channel. Shout out to that Storyfied channel. It's some because it basically talk about like freak accidents that be happening at work, at like dangerous jobs. Man, it's these one niggas that got caught in a tunnel in Trinidad, like in a pipe. They got sucked into a pipe and died in that bitch. I think one of them got out though. Like,
Okay, there's this one, toxic shock syndrome.
is
There's
that
a
the
rare
name of it?
life-threatening complication of certain types of bacterial infection. Often, toxic shock syndrome results from toxins introduced by Staphylococcus aureus staph bacteria.
Basically a staph infection.
Yeah, staph infection. But staph infection, like even with the flesh-eating bacteria, that's all a out of check staph infection. So you got Staphylococcus bacteria in your nostrils. It's in your body and it's on you all the time. It's just when it's unchecked and it's resistant when it becomes a problem. Yeah, because I think it wasn't this, but I don't know when my mom passed. I think it was an infection that was unchecked. And by the time they realized it was bad, she was too far gone. There's nothing they could do for her.
Yeah.
And that still costs $80,000 for her to go to the hospital for less than 24 hours and die. It was $80,000.
Yeah, them hospitals be robbing niggas too. Like, I ain't going front. So you gotta have that good insurance, man, because they'll rob your ass, nigga.
Even with the good insurance, dude. I'm on well, I don't have a bad bill, but I do all my medical care through the VA. Man, I've been getting a couple $100 bills like coming through. I'm doing my medical care through them fools, but this never was like that before. But then also I have other health situations that weren't there before.
Shit,
So,
my job, we don't even pay copay, nigga.
That's some good insurance. You don't get that in the government.
Yeah, we don't like, even if like what happened is like, say even when the bill come for the copay, my union will send a check, like you get a check that'll come, like you might gotta pay $5 or something on top of some stupid shit.
That's how my old insurance was when I worked for that factory.
Yeah,
$5 copay for doctor visits, at most $5 for a prescription.
Yep, some shit like that. Yep, maybe $2. Yeah, at the most it'd be like $5. Dead ass.
As soon as I went to federal government, that shit was like $15, $20. That shit that I had with
that still ain't bad though. Like, you know.
It doesn't, but now it's got to be way more than that because Julie always got bills. She always got it. It'd be like bills from her visits that'd be like $400, $500, $600, and she don't, and she ain't working. How's she supposed to pay that?
Yeah, that shit crazy, man. Shout out to my job, because I be my insurance, I don't pay shit.
Take a needle,
them niggas is janky in other ways though. That's why I'm not gonna say where I work at, because I might have to shit on them niggas one day while I'm up here. So I ain't I ain't gonna put my job on the line.
Interesting fact: take a needle with just air, and someone injects it, just the air bubble. It gets to your heart, instant heart attack. But you didn't hear from me. Yo, they actually have rumors of a heart attack gun that shoots a projectile that melts. It puts air into your veins and it melts, and there's no residual. This is all
conspiracy theory shit.
But they said this is what so I've heard. Yeah, but this is all conspiracy theory stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, so yeah, you want to move into this Miss, I don't know what the rapper's name is.
Oh, the Uber chick.
The Uber chick. Yeah, the Lyft chick.
Yeah, go ahead. That shit is ridiculous.
Okay, just a little backstory. I did hear something about this item. I haven't really watched this video all the way through, but it's reporting from a channel called Curse Fantasy World, but they're using the news clip from News Edge, and it's basically about a rapper that was refused a Lyft ride. And I did read a couple articles. I didn't hear this particular take on it, where the Lyft driver just knew that the situation was going to work out with this person getting in a car, but now they're suing Lyft. But hold up, let me throw this hoe up on the let's go. Let go.
Detroit rapper is going viral for something other than her music.
Fans know her as Dank DeMoss, and they're fuming.
Dank DeMoss.
What the fuck?
You bitches for bitches, my mind different. Please don't get it twisted, my pussy fine different. If you thought I liked it, the pussy a crime different.
That shit crazy. She got a cane in her hand. That's a cane.
Oh yeah.
Back to another video, guys. It's your,
you know, with the all that she got going on, she not moving around easily.
Skip to the part where they talk about because I want to see like the particulars of it before I got a theory on this. Like
on Lyft.
Pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal. I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have.
It's hella different. If a person can't fit in your car and put the seatbelt on, there's no sort of blackness that's not going to allow you to use safety features.
That's why you got people running around here talking about racism that don't exist, because you got motherfuckers comparing everything to being black. Get that bullshit the fuck out of here, dog.
And you think about it, she was sitting in the side or the back of a van and barely fit. If you got a Toyota Camry, and she could have got cars that were bigger. There's Uber Blacks, there's oversized Ubers. She could have got a U-Haul. She could have got any of that shit.
The suspension on that van probably fucked up right now, nigga.
Yo, but shout out to this lawyer right here. He's fighting for his client 100%.
That nigga is an ambulance chaser. Look how greasy this nigga look. This nigga greasy ass lawyer. These type lawyers, I don't fuck with this nigga. I don't like him how he look. He look like one of them slime ball. He just look like, what's that dude that was on Martin? We works for use. One of them dudes. Like,
nah, this nigga, he's in a fight club. Look how red his ears are. This mug be fighting at night. He's a lawyer by day, a fucking extreme cage fighter at night. It's a party up front, and it's business up front and a party in the back. He got that mullet action going, my boy.
Yeah, he got a business mullet.
I'm about to be protected, big back motherfucker. You know?
Oh my God. Finish playing this shit, man.
Please. The lawyer look like a dude from Charlie's Angels.
This smells here, like for real. Weird.
How do you watch that shit? All right, let's go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Christians in my car or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The lawsuit is filed. Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened.
Full-figured folks. Pause that. That's a mouthful. Pause it. That's a mouthful to say. Try saying that shit fast. Full-figured folks. Full-figure folks.
Yo,
this nigga look like an African nigga. He guarantee you he is.
Oh, the dude right here,
I ain't hear his voice yet. He look. I can tell from his expression. Like,
I hear a little bit of.
The guy playing real quick.
That lawyer wipe his ass and sniff his hand.
Oh.
But do I need to watch? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Shitty fingers, discriminating against shitty fingers are like discriminating against the handicap. This one.
You know, Fox 2 News of Detroit has this on their newscast. This has gone on their newscast.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I get it. It hurt her
Nigga
feelings.
might be American. I don't know what kind of nigga this is.
How did this
Skip
small
this nigga. Go to the clip because I'm
about to
news to the point she now has a platform to.
Yeah, skip that nigga.
After a Lyft driver allegedly denied her a ride because of her size.
Oh, what?
Fox News' Jessica Dubnak is live in Detroit with this story. And my goodness, tell us how this all unfolded here, Jessica.
Well, it all unfolded on video. Deja Banlane whipped out her phone when this all happened. Now, the Lyft driver.
Yes, I can. I really want people to see like what we go through as bigger people, you know.
We did reach out to Lyft. They did not get back with us in time for the.
You know what's gonna happen? This girl gonna get some money, right? She gonna get some money. That shit about to fuck the Lyft game up. They about to write in the rules that they could deny any ride they want. They gonna write in the rules that if you weigh above a certain amount of weight, you gotta get an XL or one of them other ones. Why? Because to avoid them from getting sued, they gonna have to put that shit in.
They gotta put it in. And the thing is that it should be commonly known if you're in this situation. Like, there's no way in hell she's gonna fit in a Toyota Camry.
At all.
No way in hell.
She ain't fitting in a nigga. She can't fit in an Avalon, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? That's
you know what I'm saying? That's
the biggest Toyota. That's the biggest Toyota sedan. She can't fit no Avalon. She 500 pounds.
Yo,
she gotta get in an SUV. A big
she
one.
do. In a big one. Like not even.
Yeah, not them compact SUVs. She gotta get in a Suburban, a Tahoe.
Yo, for real.
A Denali, something like that, some shit like that. Like,
And I'm wondering if this was intentional. Did she do this shit on purpose? Like, or maybe it just fell into her lap. Like she called the lift.
I don't think she that diabolical, but what I do think is when she's a rapper, so they record everything. She might have been on live or something, so they record everything. So when the shit happened to her, the lawyer probably contacted her. Like, guarantee that sleazeball lawyer contacted her
with a Starbucks
like,
cap.
You got a lawsuit. You got a lawsuit.
Dude, same shit
I'm pretty sure that's not her first time somebody told her she can't get. The nigga said you about to fuck up my tires. That's why the nigga say.
Dude, same shit happened with Red Bull. They sued because some lady drank Red Bull and didn't get wings as the advertised. She won a case.
I'm telling you. Yo, the first person that sued, you gonna get some money, but they gonna have to start. That's where all these rules and all this shit is about to start coming from. That's all that is. She gonna get paid. It's smart. Shout out to her because she's smart. I ain't even mad at her. Whatever, get your money.
All right, what else we got here? Hold up.
That's it. That shit ain't. There ain't gonna be no new information here, man.
They can refuse
you're right.
passengers based on a perceived security threat, but according to Deja's attorneys, you cannot.
It's off security threat, but not off of because she way too much. That is an equipment threat though. Like that's a threat to my equipment though.
It's not only it's a threat to safety too. If she can't fit the seatbelt, you can't strap her in safely. And then even so, minor fender bender because your struts can't handle the workload and the payload, and you swerve into something. Because you ain't used to driving with all that extra
and cars. I think cars, if I'm not mistaken, cars got a weight limit in them shits too. They can't be just riding. You can't have 2 tons, like 400 or 500 pound niggas riding in a car. That shit ain't gonna move nowhere.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she get her money and they fix it. You know what I'm saying?
So definitely gonna get her money. She gonna get some money. She gonna shout out to her. She gonna get some money.
That's the same, If you tell someone they're too big to get in your vehicle, it's the same as them being black or Muslim.
Yeah, I hate when they say that shit every day. Compare that shit to everybody. Like it's being trans, they treat you trans and being racist and black is the same thing. Like nigga, what? Nigga,
fat phobia is race.
I didn't choose to be black or fat. I mean, y'all chose to be fat and transsexual or whatever, transgender. Y'all chose to be that we didn't. You can't choose to be a race. You are what you are.
That's true.
Saying? So that's the difference. Like you know what I'm saying. That girl need to get on a diet though for health reasons. Like she too young to be 500 pounds. Like and
she's a pretty girl. Like you look, she's a beautiful girl, man.
Yeah, she need to lose some weight because this other nigga named Dave Blunts. That's so big. He be rapping with a oxygen machine on. He big like her too.
On stage, right?
Yeah,
he be on the couch.
Dave
and Snoop made a joke about him, and he came back as Snoop.
Nigga, you niggas should be shamed. Bring back shaming niggas, man. Bring that shit back, man. I don't care what nobody say. Bring back shaming niggas, man. All that, your two kids say this to this, man. Bring back when you do some goofy shit. You should get shamed. Bring back bullying, shaming, all that shit.
She need the XL package for real.
Man, I ain't about to go in on her for they be talking about we bullying her. Like that's why I ain't really going through that.
A side note, we do not condone or approve any of the opinions done by any individual on or off this.
This is all what they call that parody. Like this is
parody, yes.
Joking.
All for entertainment purposes.
Joking,
or this midget comedian was like, I got protest for saying midget in the act, and they told him saying the word midget was like saying the N-word. He said, midget, please. Yeah. I know that comedian, little white dude, man. He's hilarious. I follow him
funny
on
YouTube. That's a funny ass joke. That's funny. Midget, please. Like for real, because I hate when they do. They say everything they don't want nobody saying. They say, oh, it's like saying the N-word. No, it's not. Like
Mike Birbiglia, he had a bit he wrote for television, and a lady came to him and it contained the word midget. and they came to him talking about it, and they said, "Well, listen, you can't say that word midget because it's like little people's N word." And he was like, "I beg to differ because we both can say midget, but you have to use the N word for that word." So it's not the same. Would it be the M word if we couldn't say it?
That's funny as hell. Like what?
I think it's Mike Bibiglio. I used to listen to a lot of these cats on iHeartRadio. I would listen to comedy on my way to work on my motorcycle to get myself in a good frame of mind to deal with the day's shit by laughing. You start the day with a laugh, it ends well.
You know what was kind of crazy? The podcast, the audio shit kind of died kind of fast. Just the audio.
Yeah.
That shit died kind of fast. I can't really sit and listen to no audio like I used to. Like when podcasts first, like when I first started listening to, I used to be able to sit there and listen to podcasts for hours. I can't do that shit no more.
Well, what you do for a living, if you got it in your ear, it's a little easier while you're working, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, while you working, yeah, true. Yeah, while I'm at work, that's how I used to listen to it. But even now, I be listening to more music than anything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's something I fell away from when we were younger. A huge chunk of my life was just listening to new music, listening to artists, getting excited about finding a new artist that has a style that I'm impressed by. And over the years, I fell away from that. And I noticed that when I go back to it, listening to music and enjoying it, it puts you in a good headspace. Music does generally, you know? And music is like the soundtrack of life too, because I could listen to old school shit and go back to a time in our life, you know, a time when my mom was around, time when I was a kid, and I learned to appreciate those times that when I was youthful. I had people looking out for me. I learned to appreciate those people as well, you know. What's up, Miss V? The eyeballs. I learned to appreciate them people. Music needs to be. I think music should be part of everybody's life. Some people will love it a little more than others.
Yeah,
but
music. I be at work. That's what I be doing. I be listening to music a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I be doing, man. Or sometime I'll go to a YouTube video and just listen to that shit at my headphones on the premium shit.
He's like a junk. Put Teddy Pendergrass and Marvin Gaye on, and shit goes down. I was listening, especially Chinese saying, "But yeah, VB streaming on the other platform we on, and she performed some of the these Chinese theme music. She actually had me like move into listening to a bunch of old Frank Sinatra, because when I was a kid and we didn't have real TV and we had to like look up shit, I listened to a lot of old Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Elvis, because on Channel 55, the old shows, that's what you watch. I watched Laurel and Hardy. I watched all these old shows that were being replayed. So it brings me back to childhood, even though it's well before my years.
Yeah. They in the 80s too, like even in the 80s, we used to watch all that old shit. Even all our cartoons was old as fuck. Like we was still watching Popeye and Bugs Bunny and all that shit.
For real.
That shit was on the 50s and the 20s and the 30s for real. We was
even our old Tom and Jerry's we were watching. That was old. Flintstones was old.
All that shit was old. All that shit we was watching, all of it was old. It was mad old, like all of it. Like,
yeah, she's a casual amateur singer, brother Chris. Yo, V, I actually met Chris on Meet Me back in the day. He was called Daddy Darkness. And he used to do streams in the dark, or where he was there, but it'd be like red lights, and he'd just sit there talking humorously, having good conversation, playing good music. He was like a chill dude. He was like that late night radio DJ host. That's what I used to do too. 97 check you out, madame. Yes, sir. I may check you out, madame.
Wave Murray's.
Shit, we got that hour and 30 mark. We might as well wrap it up.
Yep.
And let this shit upload. Hold on, let me pull up the music. Hey, listen, guys, thank you for coming to hang with us. We've reached that witching hour. Oh, let me put this hoe up over here. We're gonna go out. Should we go out with Wave Murray's or should we do Vietnam Trap? That's another one I just like the way it It starts
you
like
put that on. I ain't hear you ain't play that in a minute.
Vietnam Trap. Hold up, I gotta scroll through Sean's stuff. There we go, Vietnam Trap. Hold on, let me turn her up. This is Niche, Oskama, Mark Matthew, Vietnam Trap. These are our cousin Mansoor. These are our actual relatives, man. These are blood relatives right here. Well, Niche is like a relative. He might not be blood related to us, but he family. But hey, hard. Once again, thank you guys for coming into the Hard Pause podcast to hang with us for another episode. We reached episode 70, which is we almost there. We approached that 100 mark. All the music we playing, including Vietnam Trap, is music by Mark Matthew and other family members. If you're coming at us on YouTube or on Facebook, the links will be in the description. If not, if you ever got a question, go ahead and hit me up on the DMs. If I'm a little slow to respond, please forgive me, but I'll get back to you. But yo, shout out, much love to all the family. Check out we got our brother Lost in the Sauce. He does this Lost in the Sauce podcast. Check out Lost in the Sauce. We'll see you back here every Sunday, 5:30 p.m. We're gonna try to set up another day. Shout out to you, Mark, Chris Chaos, V, and everybody else. Much love, salute. We'll see you guys next weekend. Shout out. Sometimes you gotta stop and fight. That hand-to-hand contact. You go leaving the body bag. Target in sight, private L-Berry, it's a Hail Mary. Get them to the chapel before they call the military. Just in a split second, shit get